For those who don't know, this is the fucking asshole who wrote the Restrict Act. He is the original sponsor. If you go to his Twitter page, he is bragging and is so proud of how both sides of the aisle are backing it and how necessary it is for Americans, yada, 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 yada. Fuck this guy. We're nearing the end of our rabbit hole series where we've been peeling back the layers of bullshit to truly understand why they would introduce this as a simple TikTok ban when really it is a Trojan horse attempt to strip us of our freedoms and privacy on the internet. In the last video of this series, we showed very nicely put together translations of this bill in layman terms. Shout out to the creators who provided that information. We really appreciate you. So now I think it's important to put them into more of a real world context. I'm keeping his picture up because I feel like everyone needs to know his name and his face, the state he represents. If you are in Virginia, you need to be calling this number daily, because he does not deserve rest or peace. I've seen a lot of amazing comments and content on TikTok talking about the amazing community that we've built and the way that we are connecting and organizing together. And the more information that we're sharing with each other, the straight up wisdom and knowledge that we're exchanging, it really does weaken the current systems in place. And the main system, I think, is the one of capitalism that seeks to benefit solely off of making our existence as profitable as possible. This rabbit hole series on its own has really shed light on how powerful information is, and having independently run platforms like Open Secrets and Capital Trades, we literally rely on the internet to not only access information that's going to contradict the propaganda and the scams that are trickling down from the government and the oligarchy and all the powers that be that have a direct role to play in our active oppression, but it also connects us in a way that is so powerful. It's no surprise that someone like him and all of the other people in Congress who have supported this bill would bring something forward, because they all personally have shit to gain from it passing, but also it would allow them to continue to do fucked up shit like this without us being able to say or do much about it. If you take away our individual control of the way that we navigate the internet, you're also going to take away our ability to share information and to call them on their bullshit. They don't want that. Think about all of the industries and companies that are at stake if we continue to evolve together alongside the internet as it evolves as well. Think about all of the people who have been able to quit their dead-end capitalist-driven jobs because they are now making money on TikTok. Think about how many people have started their own businesses because they're able to access marketing in a way that the average person with a small budget couldn't before. You wanted to get your product in front of millions of people, you used to have to pay huge dollars for billboards, magazine spots, or commercials on TV. But thanks to this, you can literally go viral for fucking free and sell out your business without investing a dime. Think about how many industries are at risk as we share information that teaches us that we don't really have to rely on a lot of these big entities like Big Pharma. The amount of herbalists that have popped on TikTok and taught people how to go to the farmer's market and pick out herbs that can literally replace half of their medicine cabinet is crazy. This rabbit hole series and this whole shebang is an example. People literally went onto the internet, downloaded the bill, read it bar for bar, broke it down, and called out the hypocrisy. We have totally derailed their whole attempt at stripping us of our internet freedoms. This is so much more than TikTok, and it's so much more than just the internet. This all comes down to their ability to control us and make our existence as profitable as possible. That's what this shit comes down to. And the more that we engage with each other and connect to each other and share information, the more that we organize, the less powerful they become. I got tired of looking at his face, sorry. The last thing I'll say is hugely at risk here is the organizing and the activist piece. It seems like every time I log on, there's another headline about another fascist attempt to strip a marginalized group or minoritized group of their freedoms. Trans people, for instance, banning drag shows, removing Black history from school curriculums. We are under attack on so many different fronts. And I think that a big part of our fight to maintain our freedoms and to fight for true social justice relies on us connecting to each other and spreading the word. We've seen between 2015 to now, for instance, with the movement for Black Lives and the fight against police brutality, how powerful social media has been in bringing about awareness, adding pressure, and truly mobilizing the masses. That's such a major part of the fight for social justice and fighting fascism. For instance, if for whatever the reason, if this bill passes and that small private committee decides that Twitter is an issue and Twitter is owned or being used to talk to foreign adversaries and they take it away, do you know how many political and social cause groups are now have lost their platform and their spotlight? So if something happens in Ohio where there's a bill being passed to reverse gender affirming care for trans kids, or down in Florida, they are taking out Black history from the textbooks, without a platform for the people that live in those communities to share and talk about, how will we know? How will we support? How will we organize? How will we come together to fight it? And I really think that at the absolute bottom of this rabbit hole, beyond the money, that's what it comes down to, is the ability to control and to perpetuate fascism in whatever way they see fit. And it's really beyond unfortunate. If you've made it so far in this video, first of all, shout out to your attention span. And secondly, thank you, because this information is so deeply important and it's more than just us understanding the bill. I think it's really important to understand the strategies and the mindset, perspective, and approach of the people that are trying to strip us of our rights. And the more that we understand the way that they think, and the more that we understand the ways to analyze and decipher their bullshit, the more equipped we are to fight when we have to. Like, we need to fight right now. So I've got one more video, I think, of this series where we're going to be talking about hard-hitting concrete solutions, because it makes no sense to get to the bottom of the rabbit hole and not figure out how to destroy this bitch.